Hello, today we're talking The System Has Failed by Megadeth. So, after 2001's The World Needs a Hero, here comes Dave Mustaine with his new album. And right off the bat, it starts with a very heavy song. It's called Blackmail the Universe. And it's got a fantastic riff, and the way it builds reminds me a bit of Set the World Afire from So Far So Good SWAT, which I think is a fantastic tune. Right about 1 minute and 30 seconds. You know, the drum stops and just the guitar, really nice riff, and then it goes to the next part, and it has some really cool solos in it. That's like the cool chanting, like a choir. And I don't mean the ooh, ah at the end. No, but I'm like in the middle. It's really cool. I notice it. It has so many great riffs. It also gets back to something Dave Mustaine really does well, which is usually you have the riff, a verse, maybe a pre-chorus, and then the chorus. What he does, he gives you the chorus at the end of the song, which I think it really works well, especially in this one. The next song is called Die Dead Enough, which I think is a really clever title. It starts off with a great intro. It's a bit weird, but it's really good. It's got some cool strings in it. And one thing I noticed on this album that I haven't noticed anywhere in Megadeth except for maybe Hangar 18 if you want to count it, it's that he riffs on the higher strings, which is pretty unusual for thrash. Usually you keep it on like the bottom 3 strings, or the top, just the way you want to call it, like the low ones. But Dave riffs on the lows of the higher strings quite a bit, which I think is pretty cool. It gets some variety in it, and this song is really catchy. And the first riff reminds me a bit of something that might have been on Euthanasia, but with better production, of course. It's definitely the best single they had since Trust from Cryptic Writings. I mean, they had some good singles on Risk, but this one is more, it feels Megadeth, and I don't know what it is, but it just feels really Megadeth. And I think Motorcycle was pretty shit off of The World Needs a Hero, and I don't know if they released any other singles from that album, but I'm pretty sure this one is the best single they had since Trust. It has got this really beautiful part after the second chorus, and it's sung really well. And well, it's also got a lot of different parts. It's not a really simple song. You maybe don't notice it really when you're just listening, but when you listen for it, you can hear it's got some varieties here and there, which is really cool. I think it's typical Megadeth. You know, most of the bands, including mine, we keep pretty simple. We have like, well, a couple of different riffs in the song, but there are always so many things going on in a good Megadeth song, which definitely Die Dead Enough is. Okay, now 2 tracks in, I want to talk about the artwork and production a bit. Let me see. The artwork was done by Mike Learn, and it was the concept was by Dave Mustaine, and it's got Vic selling verdicts for not guilty to world leaders, and it's pretty cool picture. It's got Vic on it again. I think this is a better Vic than on The System Has Failed, but I wouldn't necessarily call it one of my favorite artworks. Which is also goes to the production. It's a lot better. Like a lot better than a system of The World Needs a Hero, excuse me. But there are some parts in the album that it doesn't sound consistent. Sometimes the guitars sound really well, really heavy, like on the Blackmail the Universe, and then they don't. And then like in Tears in a Vial, which we'll come to later, they don't sound heavy at all. They sound weird and really fake-ish, which I'm sure they're not. But yeah, they don't sound nice to me. Okay, the next song is called Kick the Chair, and it's got an amazing intro, really nice riff, and also what I've noticed is it's got an insanely difficult verse riff to play. And I've seen some videos of playing this live, and I was like, how can you sing and play something that awfully difficult at the same time? It just amazes me. Then you get a really good chorus. The song is pretty straightforward, and it's got a good dual lead attack at the end, which it ends with, which I also like, that they don't get back to the chorus too often. Okay, next song is called Scorpion. The cool intro with the dun 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 dun. I love that intro. It's really good. It's again riffing on the higher strings. It's, I think, the weakest song, actual song on the album, because I think the fucking last track is not even a song. It's got a fantastic chorus. The verses aren't all that amazing, but they're not bad. They don't hurt the song. And oh god, it's another complaint I have about this album, which is the fucking background vocals. They're too high and they sound stupid. If you can, I can listen past them, but when I was critically listening to this album, I noticed them quite a bit, and they annoyed me, especially on this track. It's got a lot of cool solos before the chorus comes in. It's well sung. I like the ending where it reintroduces the intro and then some news items instead of going back to the chorus and fading out, which is something that you would usually see on a single. Okay, Tears in a Vial, here we go. For some reason, the guitar doesn't sound right in the song. It sounds weird. It just doesn't sound like the rest. It doesn't sound like Megadeth even. It sounds like I have the same problem with the song Time the End of Risk. It's got the same vibe going on, the same kind of tone, and I don't like it. But Tears in a Vial has a good intro where he just sings and you have the chords. Then you have this nice gallop. It's a great upbeat song, you know. I don't know, I love the song. It's a really powerful song and the vocals are powerful as well. And then you have this beautiful part of chanting once again. And then you've got a pretty interesting solo by Chris Poland. But I don't, you know, if you check out the musicians on this album, they're like crap load of musicians, really, like a lot of them. Not on all tracks, but they do shit on some tracks. But I don't think he needed Poland on this album. I think he was good enough on his own, and he plays most of the solos anyway, and I think the most memorable ones and the better ones are Dave's anyway. So, yeah. I think Tears in a Vial has one of Dave Mustaine's best vocal performance ever. And in the end, it gets really aggressive. It's a really good part. And I didn't expect that part to come actually, but it was there and it worked really, really well. I think it's a great song. It's one of my favorite Megadeth songs of the 2000s for sure. Next track is I Know Jack. It's got a high string crap going on again, which is good. It's really typical for this album, and it's got some nice melodies going on. But overall, I think the lyrics are fucking stupid, and I don't think this was necessary. Especially if you see the next track, Back in the Day. God, it gets back to the Thunderbolt riffs, the dun 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 on the D string, and it's really fast. It sounds like riffs that may have been from one of the first 3 albums, but a bit slower played. It's got great lyrics, good drumming. It doesn't really have a chorus. Yeah, it's got that thing where it goes back in the day, but I don't think that counts really. It's got amazing riffs and solos. It's supposed to have keyboards, but I don't hear them. The second part is just beautiful. I mean, it's just an amazing vocal performance. One of my favorite Megadeth tunes ever. And they changed the rhythm in the last bit to the double bass thing, and it makes the song really heavy. It makes the song really come alive, which is, I think, it's an amazing thing. Next track is called Something That I'm Not. I was coming out of Back in the Day, and I was amazed. I was so stoked for the rest of this album. I thought it was going to be amazing. And here Dave comes with this riff, and only him singing. I was like, no, please, don't, please not be Losing My Senses Part 2. But it isn't. This song actually grooves well. I think it needs that intro. It's just a really nice song to listen to. God damn it. It's supposed to have banjo in there, but I don't hear it as well. Good chorus. Probably the song's about Metallica-ish, if you listen to the lyrics. Good lyrics, by the way. It's got great solos, of course. And the last solo into the last verse, just a tapping solo, I think, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really well done. And it's finally got some pissed off lyrics again that are really pissed off. Alright. The next song it's called Truth Be Told. It's got an interesting intro. It's a bit it sounds a bit weird. It's a bit woo, but I dig it. I think it's good. It's got this really dark verse with some good singing, of course. Great chorus. Really like the answering thing. What did I truth be told? I like that part a lot. It's got if you listen to the verse, it's got some beautiful clean guitars running through it. I think it's amazing. It really enhances the song in a positive way. It's got great drumming again, fantastic soloing. It's got enough variation, and then in the second half of the song it goes to this fresh part. But there's a problem. Once again, it's the guitar sound. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound heavy. It doesn't sound thick. It sounds soft and thin, and it ruins this part. No, it doesn't really ruin it, but it would have been better if the guitar sound was a bit thicker and heavier. That's my only complaint about this song, which isn't really a complaint, but it's just something nitpicky. Our next track is Of Mice and Men, and wow, it's a great intro. It's not at all very Megadeth. It's not something that they have never done before. I think it sounds amazing. The song really touches me in a way. I don't know why. I think it's just really beautiful. And it's kind of anthemic as well. And it's got a great chorus, and the vocals are even better. Also, the lyrics are well written. It's an autobiographical, biographical, fuck pronunciations song. It's about Dave's life, of course. It's got a great, I don't know. It's just got a great vibe to it. It's just that the drumming, everything about the song is really good. I think it's the best song on the album for the reasons I just mentioned. It's so beautiful. It's pretty emotional. And the part where he says, live your life and live it well. There's not much left for me to tell. That gives me goosebumps every time, because this is coming from a man that has gone through a lot of crap in his life. So I think it's just a really powerful song. Next song is called Shadow of Death. It's a Bible verse in metal version. It's a great song actually. It sounds really huge. I don't know why they did stuff, and it sounds really huge, especially in the first part. I don't really mind that it's about the Bible crap. I don't care, and it just sounds epic. Actually, because of the lyrics, it sounds epic. I'm gonna be honest. It's got some just amazing melodies after the singing. It's such an underrated track, and it's not a filler for sure. This song just has a lot of impact on me, especially coming out of Mice and Men. So I'm gonna give this album a 10 out of 10. I think it's a perfect album. Oh wait. Jesus fucking Christ. We've got one more track. It's called My Kingdom, and oh god, it's awful. It's fucking boring. The fucking vocal sound atrocious. It's a pure fucking filler. It's the last song on the album, and if it wouldn't have been there, I actually would have given this album a 10 out of 10. It's really the best album they've done since Cryptic Writings. But here is this song. It's the end of the album. They wouldn't have needed it. And even the freshy part, ooh, sucks dick. So I'm gonna give this album a 9 till 9.5 out of 10. I think it's such an amazing album. No, it gets a 9 because of some of the complaints I had. I think it's an amazing album. It's miles ahead of The World Needs a Hero, and things were only gonna get better for Megadeth from this point on. So see you around next time for my next video, which is going to be United Abominations.